K-Town. What part of that's in Lawndale? For those listening, what part of Lawndale is K-Town or K district?
So like that's all like the K blocks, right? Like Karlov. Like when you're in Lawndale, there's like this like, I don't know, 4 or 5 blocks, and all of the streets start with the K. So we were on 1300 Karlov. And, you know, it's a very tough area. You know, I tell people all the time, like, again, if you're not really experienced with working in that area, find something a little bit easier, because you're going to have, you know, when you're in areas like that, you're not just managing a building, you're also managing people, you're managing systemic issues with those people. And it becomes, you know, extremely complicated.
You've been in Lawndale, and I think you'll be the first person that we've had on here that's really been, you know, even pre crash, Great Recession. You know, you saw it kind of starting to take off beforehand. You saw the crash happen. You've seen a lot happen now. What's happening in the neighborhood? I was just talking North Lawndale in general, that you know, can potentially be some permanent, like, good for the neighborhood versus kind of this up and down that you see a lot of these C and D neighborhoods have to go through.
I think Ogden Commons development is going to help quite a bit create that ripple effect into that North Lawndale community. We're starting to see a little bit more stability. We're starting to see some better economies move in there. And so you end up with people who have a little bit better jobs, and that kind of stability starting to come. You know, we've seen a lot of investors who are starting to get interested in the area. And so it makes you think, you know, kind of brings you back to when South Shore was starting to take off, where you see like these investors kind of starting to pick up properties here and there. And so you start to feel like there's going to be some stability and some long-term investments. There was a group that sold their portfolio for like $16 million. It was like a 6 cap in Lawndale. Now, fortunately, it was like project-based Section 8. So it was definitely an inflated price, and it was LIHTC developers and things like that. So, I mean, there were some elements to it that made it crazy. But I mean, you're starting to see deals that are closing at 9 caps in Lawndale, you know, which, you know, to me is a little bit mind-boggling, because I don't think we're quite around that curve yet. But I mean, you're starting to see a lot of that stuff kind of happen. You're starting to see a little bit of an increase in rental rates and people being able to pay a little bit more. So, I mean, I think, again, when you start to see the city starting to make infrastructure investments into the community, you know, that's definitely got to make you excited, because typically they're the front end of the investment plan, right? So the city comes in, puts the infrastructure in place, and then the developers follow.